Good morning. The town of Purcellville is looking for its next chief of police. The Virginia Association of Chiefs of Police has recommended that they keep the person they have right now, interim police chief Sarah Lambragna. But the Purcellville Town Council isn't so sure. For Thursday, October 16th, it's your Loud Now Morning Minute. Thanks for being with us. I'm Ren Screen. The town of Purcellville is looking for its next chief of police. The position has been open since January after Chief Barry Dufack resigned after the change in town council leadership. Since then, the department has been under interim police chief Sarah Lambragna. She came to the town police department from Colonial Beach in August 2024 as deputy chief. The town hired the Virginia Association of Chiefs of Police to help them find a new chief. 27 different people applied for the position, and the Chiefs of Police panel unanimously recommended, drumroll please, interim police chief Sarah Lambragna. In a letter to acting town manager Diana Hayes, there's a couple vacant positions at the top of the town government right now, but in that letter, VCAP Executive Director Dana Schrod said Lambragna was, quote, the most qualified and best prepared candidate, end quote, out of the pool of applicants. Another quote, the stability of the department and morale of the officers is critical at this time. Interim Chief Lambragna has the support and respect of the Purcellville officers and staff. She's been able to recruit qualified individuals to fill openings in the department. She can professionally perform the duties of police chief, end quote. One of the three-member panel looking at those applications was Charlottesville Police Chief Michael Kochis. He said he came away from his interview with Lambragna, quote, deeply impressed not only by her extensive knowledge and experience in law enforcement, but also by the strength of her leadership and her unwavering resolve in the face of adversity. Berryville's recently retired chief of police, Neil White, wrote, quote, I believe she has the necessary leadership characteristics such as courage, intelligence, clear communication, and integrity to lead a small department. And Stanton Police Chief Jim Williams said Lambragna has clearly been tested in a difficult political environment in a short period of time and is strong and motivated. So that gets us to Tuesday night when the Purcellville Town Council took this up. Skipping to the end, though, they did not appoint Lambragna or anyone else to be permanent police chief. The motion to appoint her failed with a tied 3-3 vote, with Mayor Christopher Berteau and council members Susan Khalil and Carol Luke voting no. The usual 4-member majority block of which they are usually part is broken up on this one because Vice Mayor Ben Nett is not taking part in the police chief conversations because he used to be a town police officer and then was fired, which led to a grievance. Commonwealth's Attorney Bob Anderson said he broke state conflict of interest law earlier this year by voting for an ordinance that would dissolve the police department after he was fired from it. The council majority backed off on that idea after public outcry. As for being fired, as I said, Nett has filed a grievance against the town. By town policy, the grievance panel is appointed by the person filing the grievance, Nett, and the town manager, who in this case is former Mayor Kwesi Frazier, who before he was town manager campaigned for the current majority during the election, and then, as soon as they took office, they hired Frazier as town manager. Nett and Frazier are also both facing felony charges of bid rigging and commercial fraud related to a contract to hire a consultant to study the police department. Back to the grievance panel, which said that Nett should be reinstated and get back pay and attorney's fees. That decision is set to be reviewed by the circuit court later this month. Anyway, that's the long answer to why Vice Mayor Ben Nett wasn't in the room to vote on this one and some of the council's background with the police department. The meeting agenda included a closed session for the town council to hear from the town attorney about considering candidates for police chief. But the motion to go into closed session also failed 3-3, with Berteau, Khalil, and Luke opposed. Berteau, who sets the agenda, said he would rather get Cafferty's advice via memo. This was another somewhat heated meeting. Here's Councilmember Aaron Rayner, followed by Berteau.
I believe it's pretty ignorant of you not to hear it, and it puts us in a bad spot. I just want to hear from you why.
I prefer to get my legal advice in the form of a memo from the town attorney.
And after the vote, not to go into closed session. Go to loudnow.com/Morning Minute to check out the whole story. In other news, county supervisors are looking at moving the government headquarters out of Leesburg and out to eastern Loudoun. The Board of Supervisors Finance Committee on Tuesday endorsed looking for a partnership with an Eastern Loudoun developer to build a new office building for the county government. With that vote, they moved away from another option to build it on county-owned land on Sickland Road, just south of Leesburg town limits. The county is looking at turning over their existing 5-story, 158,000 square foot county government center on Harrison Street to the court system, and they're now looking at building a new one as big as 400,000 square feet. This followed a consultant study that found moving the county government hub to Eastern Loudoun would put it closer to the population center, would be served by public transit, and possibly make it cheaper if they partner with a developer. Last fall, the board voted not to explore ways to keep the county government's operations in downtown Leesburg. The Virginia Municipal League has elected Leesburg Mayor Kelly Burke as its next president of the board of directors. The president-elect is responsible for the oversight and coordination of the program for the annual meeting. Her term as president will start next October. The Virginia Municipal League describes itself as a nonprofit created to improve and assist local governments through legislative advocacy, research, education, and other services. And the vintage cars will be back in Loudoun this Saturday at Rally Middleburg. It'll showcase 25 vintage autos in a road rally starting at Summit Point Raceway on the track out there and then ending in a downtown street festival in Middleburg. The event benefits the nonprofit food pantry 7 Loaves and America's Roots, which promotes preservation of rural roads. There's more info in the story on our website, so get the full story on this and all these stories over at loudounnow.com. On today's Get Out Loudoun calendar, hauntings begin tonight at the Loudoun Museum. It's an 80-minute walking tour of historic Leesburg with spine-tingling stories about historic buildings and their inhabitants from the past, and all their lingering ghosts, poisonous deeds, and historic tales. Anyway, it's also the largest annual fundraiser for the Loudoun Museum, and there's a link to get tickets on our calendar. Check out the rest of the events calendar at getoutloudoun.com. And if you like the Morning Minute, tell all the ghosts in downtown Leesburg about the podcast and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and it'll be waiting for you there every morning. Okay, have a great day.